Welcome to Abdul Highlights. Make sure you are subscribed and like the video. Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome back to Abdul Highlights. And in this video, so it is currently the day after Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And if you're watching or if you're tuned in, you know what the topic of the day is. So let's get started. Anyway, so Game 3 started and Celtics got things going early, starting with Jaylen Brown. The Celtic fans also got into it as well. They started going crazy on the FU Draymond chants, as you guys can hear. But Draymond's wife wasn't feeling it, so she took to IG to address the situation. Now, guys, we have to understand that players have kids and families that come to watch the game. And, when these kind of things are being said about you or the person you're coming to support, it's kind of hard to watch the game. And, at the same time, or like she said, you don't want your kids to hear these kind of things being said about their dad. And it's tough. But at the same time, we have to understand that this is how Boston fans are, or sports fans. This is how they are about their team. They want their team to win so bad. So they, chant certain things, to make you lose focus or whatever or whatnot. So it's understandable coming from Boston fans, and, it's expected. Al-Horford's wife had this to say about Boston fans. People try so hard to villainize, I just learned a new word, by the way. Anyways, people try so hard to villainize Boston's fan base when the behavior from our fans is pretty much on par with just about every other team in the NBA. Passion is everywhere, vulgarity is everywhere, like it or not, it's part of the game, always has been. Now, this is a strong message, man. It always has been, always will be. You heard that. Now, slurs and threats are obviously never okay, but you're going to hear the word bitch and you're going to hear the word F-bombs. Hear the F-bombs. It is what it is. You heard that from Anna Horford herself. Barstool Sports had this to say: we really went from Draymond is in the Celtics said to please be nice to Draymond and don't chant mean things about him within 72 hours. Now, to be honest, I don't think Draymond cares. End of story. Like, as an athlete, I think you should be emotionally intelligent. So, yeah.
Draymond, how do you feel you played?
Like shit. Draymond, what most disappointed you about the way you guys played tonight, and yourself? I was soft. That's what was most disappointing to me for us.
At least he acknowledged it. Anyways, that's why I love Draymond, man. He's going to go back to that hotel, record that podcast I keep complaining about, upload on his YouTube, and y'all gonna watch that. Y'all gonna watch his podcast, ain't it? Right?
Draymond's focused on podcasting and blah blah blah. Listen, y'all gonna get this podcast. Like I told y'all, the beginning of these playoffs, this podcast ain't going nowhere. I'm going to leave the arena. I'm going to return to this hotel room. I'm going to return to my home when we're back in San Francisco, and I'm going to film this podcast. It will then be uploaded by Jackson. It will be edited by Jackson and uploaded by Jackson. And then you will turn this podcast on and you will listen. And that's just that. You're going to get this podcast. It baffles me. It's so funny when I hear people like, oh, you shouldn't be podcast. So what should I be doing when I get to my room? Like, should I go to sleep? Should I watch the film of the game? Because I'm going to do that anyway. So what should I be doing when I get to my room? I want to know the real answer from people that say Draymond shouldn't be podcasting. So I hear all the noise about the podcast. It's not going anywhere. You're going to get this podcast. If you don't want to listen, don't. But you're going to get this podcast. And if you want to talk about it, great. I know, like, there's media people. I'm sorry that this podcast is probably doing better numbers than yours, but...
Anyways, Chris Haynes brought to our attention that CJ McCollum informed Draymond Green after Game 3 that he picked the Celtics to win the finals, and Draymond had this to say: that's fine, the Celtics will still be ringless just like you are. And, sheesh, that's tough. Now, Draymond's gonna get this Warriors team in trouble. I still believe, I picked the Celtics in 6, and we're gonna see how this plays out.
2 points. 2 damn points. All of that talking, 2 points. I got no problems with your podcast, my brother. I support it.
Yep, we do support you.
I love listening to you. I hope you keep doing
Yes,
it.
sir, we
but
love
guess
your
what?
podcast,
That ain't
man.
the priority right now. 2 damn points
That's 2. Come on,
against the
Dre.
Boston Celtics. That's 2 games, Dre. 1 game you admitted you wasn't yourself, game 1. Game 3 last night, you said you played like you know what.
Shit. Play like shit, Dre.
Are you ready for somebody to look at you and say to you, Draymond Green, you are on the verge of costing the Golden State Warriors 2 titles.
Whoa, 2 titles?
When you lost in 2016, y'all win that series in 5 if you don't get suspended for the game.
What y'all think?
Because you accumulated too many technical fouls. That's 1 title. Now if you lose to Boston, because game 1 you didn't show up, game 3 you didn't show up, that we can't rely on you to show up for more than 1 game at a time. That's gonna be a problem. Steph Curry needs you, bro.
We need
Klay
you.
Thompson needs you, bro. Jordan Poole needs you, bro. It's time. Period. You got to show up.
The Warriors definitely need Draymond Green to be aggressive to win these games.
Do you think that's something that you can, improve? Is that something that you need to improve with this kind of roster?
I think I can. I will. I have to be more aggressive on both sides of the ball, not just defense or offense. I think the game ties together. All goes hand in hand with it flowing on one side and flowing on the other. So we are a much better team when I'm aggressive offensive. So I have to do that for this team. I've always prided myself on giving the team what it needs in order to win. I think this team will be more effective for us to win. So I have to do better on this side.
Isaiah Thomas said this about Draymond, and it makes so much sense. Pay attention.
The NBA Finals, and when you're playing for a championship, it really is about your mental toughness and your mental focus and being able to totally 100% concentrate on your opponent, shutting him down, understanding their offensive and defensive schemes. And anytime you lose that focus or that concentration, and you're talking about Cedric Maxwell, and you're talking about podcast, and you're talking about the fans.
Don't talk about X and O's though.
Then you have lost, you have really lost your concentration and your focus. And where does that show up? That show up in the box score in a game like tonight where you play 34 minutes, you have 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 points. Draymond Green does that in a grade school game, not in the NBA Finals. So when you talk about focus, this is what the NBA Finals is about. And right now, he has lost focus in terms of concentrating on beating the opponent. He's not talking about Jaylen Brown. He's not talking about Tatum. He's not talking about Marcus Smart. He's talking about podcasts, and he's talking about Cedric Maxwell and the fans. Concentration needs to come back on the Boston Celtics players who you're playing against out on the floor.
You really think that the comments with him and
100%.
you really believe that?
Anyways, what do you guys think, man? Let me know in the comments. And all right, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.